We have come down here to check out Reptile Systems Reptile Room. This is going to be cool. Check this out. So let's start off. We have got Yemen Chameleon, there's a little fish tank there, blue tongue skink enclosure, Tenrec, Ackee monitor, amazing dart frogs, that's a planted enclosure, ton of plants and cacti, amazing bearded dragon enclosure, that one gives me so many ideas for Diego, and all the way down here we've got a little tortoise over here, Madagascar giant day gecko, and a bioactive leopard gecko enclosure. That, along with loads more, let's go and have a look.
So then, right here, first one, I absolutely love the enclosure that this girl's in. We'll run through that in a second, but this is Madam. She's a female central bearded dragon, just absolutely an amazing creature. She's currently getting ready for bed, that's where she sleeps, that's why she's in there. But as bearded dragons are uncommonly known, they're actually a semi-arboreal creature. Absolutely amazing enclosure this is. I mean, check it out, it's got all the climbing areas that she could require, but not just that, even down on the bottom, on the substrate, she's got her solid areas where she feeds from, she's got slightly more textured areas, she's got a slightly moist area, she's got a digging area, she's got absolutely everything that these bearded dragons would actually need. They thrive off this sort of stuff. Giving them the opportunity to have that semi-arboreal sort of enclosure is just absolutely vital for their enrichment. And as you can see with this one, it's just absolutely amazing. So let's move away from Madam and we'll go directly above her enclosure. Above her enclosure is the tortoise table. This is just absolutely an amazing enclosure, and I'm fascinated every single time that I see it, because I've always been fascinated by having tortoises, but I'm a big believer in you should be able to look after the animal for the animal's entire life. Well, a tortoise could quite possibly outlive you. So, they did mention I could rescue one, so maybe that's an idea for the future. Anyway, I'm going off topic. This is Billy the tortoise. He's just absolutely amazing. He's got that really solid basking spot. He's got a really solid feeding spot as well, so that'll really help trim down his beak. He, as you can tell, absolutely loves the live planted enclosure that he's in. He loves munching away on those plants. It's just an all-round, highly enriching sort of enclosure, which is just the same for all of Reptile Systems enclosures, just like Green Monster's enclosure. Now, Green Monster, that's a Madagascar giant day gecko, and again, he's really loving the fully bioactive live planted setup. It's amazing to have live plants in as many enclosures as you possibly can get them in, simply because they do absolutely amazing things, not just for the constant humidity levels, but also for the air quality inside the actual enclosures. As you can see, it's stuck there on the side of the enclosure, just absolutely loving life. But right next to Green Monster's enclosure is Chunky's enclosure. Chunky is a leopard gecko, and it's again fully I love those name cards, fully bioactive, live planted enclosure, and it is just absolutely amazing. So many ideas in this enclosure for me when I'm doing my big bioactive enclosure. It's just absolutely beautiful. Highly enriching, loads of levels so we can really work those leg muscles, live planted so that massively increases the quality of the air inside that enclosure, and it's just absolutely amazing. As you can see that cork bark on the back, that's a little bit of a shelf so they can add even more live plants up there if they wish. Right, let's quickly move on again. So that's this side of the enclosure totally complete. Let's swing around and go over here. This is got a lot more of the bigger sort of species. We'll start off with the paludarium and we'll just have a look through this entire dart frog enclosure because I absolutely love this enclosure. It's just, again, fully bioactive, live planted, great nutritional qualities within the water in the bottom of the paludarium. It's got live fish in the bottom of there, and this has got a couple of Dendrobatus tinctorius azurias in here, and they're the blue and black dart frogs. They're just absolutely stunning. It is massively overgrown, and that's thanks to the New Dawn LED lights directly above it. Head over to their channel, I'll link it in the card section above now, and you'll find more information out about this actual enclosure. But doesn't it look absolutely stunning? This is what a highly matured bioactive enclosure looks like. They're just absolutely stunning. I absolutely love these name cards. It tells you what they are, the scientific name, the proper name, and all the equipment that's actually in there, so you never need to wonder, oh, I wonder what wattage that bulb was that I put in there. Now it's just blown. It's all there, you know absolutely everything. But this is the blue tongue skink. See that basking spot? They've drilled a hole in the middle of it, and they've got the thermostat probe directly inside the actual basking spot, so they can check the temperature of the basking spot. It's just absolutely amazing, little innovative sort of creative ways of doing it. It's just, I love it. It's absolutely amazing. These guys are just so pretty and just amazing. I am fascinated by blue tongue skink. But underneath the blue tongue skinks, we've got two enclosures. We're going to look down on this one first. This is the Ackee monitors enclosure. This is Rando. Again, amazing name tag. But look at all the rock work in there and all the stick work. The substrate, just absolutely everything. He can climb, he can burrow, he can work his way between all the rock work. You can see all the holes in the rock work. That's so the live food can actually get into that rock work, and he can generally go in digging around underneath the rock work and just chase all the bugs. And it's just, again, another act of adding that extra enrichment within the enclosure. There he is basking away. He's flattened his body out beautifully to absorb all those UVB rays from the mercury vapor heat bulb. What an absolutely amazing enclosure. Now time for my favourite animal. This is the Tenrec. Just words can't describe the passion I have for these animals. They're just so unique. I've not seen any before except for here. And the guys at Reptile Systems have actually rescued these. They actually rescued another one that is doing a lot better than when it first came in. It's just a slow grower, and it's got a few little issues. Not this one. This one's just fast asleep, slobbed out after a big Sunday dinner. You got the female down there as well. They're just absolutely amazing creatures. They're like little hedgehogs, but they're not quite hedgehogs, and they're just amazing. I mean, who wouldn't love a Tenrec? They're just stunning in every single way, shape and form. You don't really see that many of them around anymore. They've got a huge enclosure. As you can see, they're right up there. They love their climbing. They love basking. They love sleeping. Just a typical Tenrec. But now let's move on to one of the Mexican black king snakes. They're just an amazing snake. They're jet black. They've got jet black eyes. They've got jet black tongues. They are just absolutely amazing. I mean, look at that. Just sat there loving life. This is actually on one of those Reptile Systems new heat mats, and he absolutely loves it. But just a general bog standard enclosure that's been added to add the extra enrichment. He absolutely loves it. And just look at the iridescence on him. You've got some blues coming through, some blacks, purples, just in different lights. Sorry for the shaking there. That's just to show the different lights, but just absolutely amazing. I mean, just check out his face with his little tongue flickering. It's all jet black. They're one of the species I absolutely love when it comes to snakes. But next to that Mexican black king snake, there's another Mexican black king snake. This guy is tucked up right down in the corner, just absorbing all the heat from the heat mat underneath. But again, all the wood in there, the different branches, the sticks, everything in there is just absolutely perfect, all to aid in the enrichment. Let's quickly move on to the turtle pond. In here, there's a map turtle. Now, it does look a bit grubby, it does look a bit grimy. That's because they're letting it get like that so that they can stick some product in there to show the progression and the quality of the actual product. It's all to do with cleaning it and stuff like that. But this guy's got such a character. He's a grumpy little git. He hides away. These two enclosures are just stunning. This one has got garter snakes in it. They're just out. You can see them up in the plant there. There's one there. There's a couple in there. There's one down there. The female is actually gravid, so she's really burrowed down in her burrow. This one has got a 15-year-old crested gecko. Now, it's a bit hard to spot a crested gecko in these enclosures. If you've ever had one, you'll understand why. They just hide because they're a nocturnal species. But it's still an absolute beautiful enclosure, fully live planted. It's just absolutely amazing. What more can you want for the Crested Gecko? It's just stunning. But the final animal I'm going to show you in this reptile room tour is the grumpy chameleon. Check this enclosure out. It's a lovely massive enclosure for him. He really does use the entire space. He loves to hide behind that water bottle that's been converted so that his live food can go in. But it's, again, fully live planted. It's got a fake plant background, but he just absolutely loves it. He's always sat down there in that corner. And again, the air quality in this enclosure is just second to none. It can't be beaten. Because of the amount of live plants in there, they suck in all the bad air, the carbon dioxides and everything like that, blow out just pure oxygen. He absolutely loves this enclosure. He just hates people. But that's it, guys. That's this reptile room tour. Stick your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. And thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Once again, thank you.